Hello fellow Hell Let Loose players, Burning Wiki here. And as always, I want to thank all the people who watch my videos, leave likes, and all the new subscribers to my channel. Thank you all. In this video, I'm gonna talk about playing as a tank crew member in Hell Let Loose and what the different roles do in the tank. Let's start with the Tank Commander. The Tank Commander has several important tasks. Number 1. Tell the driver where to move the tank, short-term and long-term destination. Number 2. Spot and select targets for the gunner. As the commander of a tank, the most important thing to do is get your tank into a good position to support the friendly infantry and tanks, and they in turn provide cover for your tank. And keep using the commander's periscope to spot targets. Keep looking 360 degrees around your tank. Don't let enemy infantry surround your tank or sneak up from behind. Number 3. Make sure your tank is either camouflaged next to a tree or behind some bushes, or hold down behind a small wall or dry riverbed. And with the hold down, I mean that almost only your turret sticks out for the enemy tank to shoot at. Don't stand in the open unless it is on high terrain and you want to dominate the landscape around your tank. Do's and don'ts in a tank. Number 1. For light and medium tanks, I recommend to always try to stay with the heavy tanks or infantry and try to supply support fire for them. Number 2. I don't recommend going into city or large build-up areas with long narrow streets or bottlenecks in the landscape. Enemy landmines or bazooka will most likely kill you. Unless escorted by infantry, avoid large build-up areas. On the other side, you can make a great ambush spot at these locations yourself. Number 3. Keep using your map. Battlefield awareness is very important. Mark potential enemy targets on the map and be on the lookout for enemy tanks marked by other squad leaders. Number 4. Always try to make use of your main cannon of the tank and shoot at enemies from far away. Bazooka or puncher-strike rounds don't fly further than 40 and 70 meters. They are only really accurate at 20 to 50 meters. So engage the enemy from far away from a relative safe, camouflaged or hold down position. Try to ambush enemy tanks and get the first well-aimed shot in. The enemy tank crew will be disorientated and will go into a panic mode. It will take a few seconds for them to react to the situation. By that time, you will have had the time to reload and shoot again. Number 5. Most tanks turn faster left to right and right to left than the gunner can move the turret to aim the cannon. So if a target is at a 90-degree angle from your tank, aiming the tank cannon by moving the tank first is most of the times a faster way to aim at the target. This has the added benefit that you then also have your front armor pointing towards the enemy, and thus you stand a better chance of bouncing enemy shells off your tank. Number 6. Try positioning your tank in such a way to improve the chance of an enemy tank shell bouncing off your tank's armor. This is a very important aspect of the game tank mechanics. A cannon shell has a higher penetration chance on a flat surface than it does on an angled one. That is why, for example, the German Panther tank has such a sloped armor on the front of its hull. Last but not least, and I already mentioned this, but keep looking around your tank. This is very important. The gunner and the driver have a very limited view of the landscape, and you, as the tank commander with the tank periscope, are the eyes of the tank. If your tank gets damaged and you manage to get away from the enemy, then drive to the nearest tank repair station that an engineer has made, or drive back to the HQ to repair your tank, in case you don't have crew members with the repair torch. A good tank commander keeps his head on a swivel, knows the landscape and remains calm under all circumstances. Now let's talk about the driver. And let's start with the driver controls. You start the tank by pressing and holding the E button. W is forward, A is go left, D is go right, and W is also go backward. And this is very important to remember. When you are the tank driver, no matter if you drive your tank forward or backwards, it is always by using the W key. You use the left shift to gear up and you use the left control to shift the gear down. The forward key, in this case W, is like the gas pedal of a car and you can give fuel to the engine with it. When the tank commander gives the order to move the tank, you select the first gear by pressing the left shift once and hit the gas pedal by pressing the W key. Make sure your rev counter maxes out before putting it into the second gear. After that you can go almost immediately and put it in third and the fourth gear after that. But it is very important to max out the rev counter of the engine in the first gear, else it will take forever to get your tank up to speed. You might or might not, as a driver, also have a machine gun at your disposal. It can come in handy to suppress or kill nearby enemies. You aim it by using the aim rectangle on the right side of the driver's screen. The dot is your aim sight and the rectangle is your viewport. It is very tricky to shoot with, but can be mastered by using it a lot. As a driver, never decide on your own to move or stop the tank. Always wait for the commander to tell you where to go and where to move. And I have to say personally, I think being the driver is the most stressful job in the tank. Under combat, whilst repositioning, shifting all the gears, or waiting for the tank commander to give you the orders to go, it can be very hectic and stressful. If you have trouble seeing where to go, or maybe you can't see the road because of the angle and the limited view you have, then ask the tank commander to ping where you should drive to and ask for a map marker for the end destination where he wants you to go to. And now let's talk about the tank gunner. Make sure the first shell you load when leaving the HQ is an AP or armor penetrating shell, and you always aim the gun to the front of the tank unless otherwise ordered by the tank commander. You can have up to 3 types of shells at your disposal. The number 1, 2 and 3 keys on your keyboard. Number 1, armor penetrating shells against enemy tanks. Number 2, high explosive shells against enemy infantry. Number 3, smoke shells to use as cover for yourself or allies. You also have a machine gun, which is the right mouse button. It comes with a few hundred rounds of ammunition. General tips for tank crew members. 1. When repairing a tank in the field, make sure one crew member is in the tank and has the commander's seat and uses the periscope to look around. 2. Never ever leave the tank unless it is to repair the tank, an emergency or ordered by the tank commander. If your tank's armor and gun can't stand up to the violence, your flesh and bones and rifle will not turn the tide. Number 3. Keep the squad tank chat clear. Don't talk unnecessary so the tank commander can hear the squad leader chat. Number 4. If you talk, be short, to the point. Use the compass to point out enemy targets to the other tank crewmen. And mark targets by pinging them by pressing your mouse scroll button. And this was the basic list of things all tank crew members need to know. I hope you found this video useful and interesting. And if you did, then please leave me a like and subscribe to the channel. I try to make at least one video a week. Also visit my YouTube channel. I have over 100 interesting, useful and funny videos. My name is Burning Wiki, and I'm gonna wish you all a great day and see you all next time in Hell Let Loose.